Dear students, in the previous session, we began the lesson, the problems of India and their solutions. Where is the solution? Solution is in our hands. It is at our hands. Okay, yesterday we began the lesson, corruption is one such problem. Today we are going to see the continued part of that lesson. You know what is corruption? And asked some questions also. You know, it is impossible to root out, remove or alleviate the corruption from the country. It means it is impossible to root out the corruption by either rejecting it at personal level or just going along with it. It can be rooted out. It can be removed only through strong public ethics, strong public determination, strong public morality and personal commitment. How we can root out this corruption? The corruption can be rooted out only through the strong public ethics, morality, personal commitment. Many a times, natural human tendency for selfishness, eagerness and fund of personal emergencies, personal gain, which lead a person to engage in corruption. This is common frailty. Sometimes you know that due to common tendency for selfishness, we are all the selfish people. But one thing, if we have ethical values, ethics, if we have moral ground, if we have strong public determination, we will never indulge in corruption. But many times, natural human tendency for selfishness, eagerness to fund up personal emergencies, personal gain, lead a person to engage in corruption. But here in our country, lack of strict supervision and weak legal enforcement leads to corruption. People know. You know that you might have seen in yesterday's paper, one of the KS officer accumulated vast, means crores together, money. You know that Anti-Corruption Bureau lodged a case. And you know that still investigation is going on. A woman indulged that only because of selfishness. See, due to that, it deteriorated the quality of work. It harmed the public life too. So, lack of strict supervision and weak legal enforcement leads to corruption. People know, even after collecting that much of money, we can come out from the scam. They believe that they come out cleanly. Due to weak legal enforcement, they believe like that. Political will and public support is inevitable for tackling corruption. In other words, ethical political leadership is also very important. Ethic. So I used to tell our students, you don't blame politics. You don't blame the politician. Instead of, you should be filled with good qualities. We should inculcate good qualities and join politics. That we can bring a change in political. We can bring a change. Ethical politics can be brought down. That is why political will and public support is inevitable for tackling. In other words, ethical political leadership. Ethical political leadership. Political leadership. And good officers, politically aware and educated public can weed out corruption. Now corruption is cancer. What we call those well-trained people are also doing the same. Corruption, corruption, corruption. They are licensed burglars. Those who are sitting in the office, they are earning the public's money through illegal means. They are the licensed burglars. To remove this, public will is important. We should not give corruption. We should not give bribery to get done any work. That is the prime thing we should do. But we are helpless. That system is like that. Okay, education institution can take a lead in this direction. It means how education institution give moral education. And another method, that by installing CC camera and government offices, increasing efficiency government work, and also bring down the intensity of the corruption. Then measures like awarding harsh punishment for corrupt officials can also bring in some change. But they know, even after getting lakhs and crores together money, they can go for court, and they believe that they have money and they can come out clean chit. But measures like awarding harsh punishment for corrupt officials can also bring in some changes. Then increasing the number of courts and judges also remove corruption. In nutshell, coordinated efforts are needed to address this burning social problem. It is, we should not target who is the whistleblower for this, We should start. We become the whistleblower for this one to remove corruption. From our side, it should start. Okay, I believe corruption can be removed with great will of public. Okay, another problem of India is discrimination. Dear students, we are going to see what is this discrimination. Discrimination. There are so many types of discrimination we can see in our society. This is in practice since time immemorial. Still in this 21st century it is continued. But we can remove this discrimination with positive knowledge, positive thinking. But now we are going to see what is this discrimination. Discrimination based on gender, based on caste, based on region is more evident in India. Indian society is made of patriarchal values. Patriarchal values. It discriminates the role of patriarchal means here father or the male dominated society. Here father is prime in the family. So Indian society is made up of patriarchal values. It discriminates the role of woman and man according to the patriarchal values. See, woman is only confined to kitchen. She is only confined to kitchen. But we don't know the values and our capacity. Today you can see most of the women are working for Indian Army, Railway. They are the decision makers in the politics also. We can see very good politicians, very good IAS officers. But still we are denying their public entrance. Public entrance means their power in public. We are denying them. Okay, it discriminates the role of women and man according to the patriarchal values. Hence, inequalities are there between men and women in our society. Woman is, that woman is our mother, our sister, our grandma, our teacher, our mentor, our caretaker. Moreover, she is the resource of love. She is the source of love. But we are not understanding her values. So it is necessary to give her a special status in the society. Government of India has undertaken various measures like providing reservation in education. See, to wipe out this discrimination between men and women, Government of India has taken various measures like providing reservation in education. Reservation in education. Yes, we should give her reservation. You know that ಹೆಣ್ಣೊಂದು ಕಲಿತರೆ ಶಾಲೆಯೊಂದು ತೆರೆದಂತೆ. There is a word, there is a sentence, it is a meaningful sentence. If you educate a girl, it is equal to opening a school. The girl who learnt, she will educate the next generation. That is why they say ಹೆಣ್ಣೊಂದು ಕಲಿತರೆ ಶಾಲೆಯೊಂದು ತೆರೆದಂತೆ. That is why the reservation is given in education. Reservation given in employment, along with the providing reservation in the elections of local bodies, overcome gender discrimination. Today, the reservation has been given for ladies in local self-government, means local elections. It has reserved 1/3 of the seats in local elections. How much? 1/3 of seats are reserved for women in local elections like Grama Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat and Jilla Panchayat. In Karnataka, 50% of reservation has been given to women in the local self-government and local body elections. With these measures, efforts are not on to end the discrimination prevalent between genders. See, after giving all these facilities, still that the discrimination prevailing in this society. See, without the support of men, without the positive change, we cannot uplift women. Woman is always equal to man. Woman is always equal to man. Today we can see her role in each and every sector. ಅವಳು ಅಬಲೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅವಳು ಸಬಲೆ. ಅವಳು means the woman, your sister. We have to treat her our sister, treat like our mother, treat like our mentor, treat like our teacher. Mother is our first teacher, But why she has been denied? This is the drastic thing, the pitiable thing. Okay, this is the gender discrimination. I hope the next generation, this generation, not next generation, this generation will wipe out and give more priority to women. I hope. Okay, next, another discrimination is caste system. This is stigma in Indian society. Since many ages, since 3,000, 4,000 years it is prevailing, it has been prevailing. It is worst thing in Indian society, caste system. Caste system is a gift to political system from ancient and social system based on Varna. See, this Varna system is prevailing since many years, but many measures have been undertaken in the constitution. Many measures have been taken in the constitution itself to prevent caste based discrimination. Though we are in 21st century, though we are educated, though we are well learned, this society is divided on the basis of caste. Upper caste, lower caste, untouchables, Shudras, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana. In that way it is divided. Is it right dividing the country on the basis of caste system? If we divide the country on the basis of caste, will we stand up with any other country? It is not possible. If we want to unite, this caste system should be wiped out from the bottom of the society. The right from the equality, that the right for equality, the right for freedom have been included in the third part of our constitution. But the caste system has continued to live even after all these efforts. Even after all these efforts. This caste system cannot be solved only with legal intervention. See, strong moral support is required to wipe out this caste system from the entire country. It means this cannot be solved only with the legal intervention. In order to eradicate this system, the society also needs to prepare itself to accept the change. We need to accept, means we need to prepare. We need to prepare to accept the change. But we are not ready to accept the change. We are not ready to accept the change. That is the basic thing and made to remain this caste system in this country. In order to eradicate this system, the society also needs to prepare itself to accept the change. Okay, this is caste-based discrimination. Another discrimination is there, that is regional inequality. Regional inequality. Regional inequality is like gender inequality, caste inequality, and has posed a big challenge to India. Nowadays, this regional imbalances, regional inequality posing a big challenge to the unity of this country. In some regions of this country have achieved a lot of progress while many parts have remained backward. Now let's come to Karnataka. The old Mysore region like Mysuru, Mandya, Bangalore and some regions are developed. At the same time, if you go Hyderabad, Karnataka, Raichur, Gulbarga, Koppala, Yadgir, these regions remained backward. But there are political reasons are there, and if you go through the history, the Hyderabad region was looked after by Nizam of Hyderabad. He did not take much care about those regions. Almost all the time he spent his time in internal disputes. At the same time, the old Mysore region like Mysore, Bangalore, Mandya and Hassan, these regions were looked after by Wadayars. They paid immense attention for the development of the state. They built, that Kannambadi Dam, that means Krishnaraja Sagara, KRS, and then they started Mysore detergent factory in Bangalore, that Mysore sandal soap. It was started around 1916. Mysore University was started and so many libraries were started, and it was the first state introduced universal education. See, that is why these regions become developed. At the same time, northern means that Hyderabad, Karnataka remained backward. Okay, this is another thing. But still, it is a big challenge. In order to remove such inequalities, Article 371 has been amended from A to J. A to J. This is very important. 371 article from A to J has been amended. Through these amendments, backward regions have been given special status. In spite of, if you come to northeastern states like Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Nagaland, Manipur, Meghalaya, these states remained backward. But nowadays, these states were given special status. In spite of all these measures, the regional inequalities and problem has grown to such extent. Due to that, many are demanding for separate state and independent state. They are demanding for independent state status for themselves. But so many measures have been taken. In Karnataka, DM Nanjundappa, he is one of the prominent economists, has given a special report. It was considered also. And in 2002, some of the most backward regions of Karnataka have been accorded a special status by adding Article 371J. Today, these states, what are these regions like Yadgir, Koppal, Gulbarga and Raichur, from these districts, the students who are learning, they are given with special reservation under 371. See, this is also change, but this is also one of the challenge, that is regional inequality. Dear students, we have discussed it, the problems like corruption and then regional equality, caste discrimination, that means discrimination. In the next class, we are going to see some other problems and try to find the solution. Sai Ram.